A Southworth Duplex boiler feed pump service part 7. After a few checks and adjustments, I connect the compressed air line and some water piping. When I open the air valve, the engine bursts into life. There is a major problem with the water outlet that needs attention. After fixing this problem and setting the timing, all is well. Before running the engine, I need to inject some steam oil into the steam inlet. After doing that, I connected the air line. It's a piece of silicone rubber tubing fitted with a spring clip to hold it in place. Anticipating plenty of oil pouring out of the exhaust, I've put a cloth there to catch it. At first, when the engine starts, it sounds a bit strange. That's because of the amount of steam oil that's now pouring out of the exhaust port. I'll stop talking for a while so you can listen to it running. I've also connected two more pieces of silicone rubber tubing, one to the water inlet and one to the water outlet. At this stage, with the pipes in this position, all the engine is doing is pumping air. I wanted to bed the engine in a little bit before I put it under load. But now it's time to see what happens with the inlet pipe in the water. Just in case any viewers are wondering why there are two elastic bands around the tub of water, it's to hold the piping in place. Time to pump some water. I can immediately see a major problem. More about this later. I put the water outlet pipe also in the water to stop it splashing. In this clip, I'm running the engine at a nice steady speed, just to bed it in, and I'm having a look around the engine to see if there are any gland leaks. Because I've used two O-rings in each gland, they will need tightening up once the O-rings bed in, but not yet. If I tighten the glands now, everything will become too tight. The holes in the casting at the water pump end are far too deep, so it's okay to nip up the glands at the water pump end now. The holes in the cylinder covers on the steam side of things were not bored quite as deeply as on the water pump side, so here I cannot really tighten these too much. They will be able to be tightened once they're bedded in, but that won't be for a while. Now for a bit of high speed running. You can hear that the pump's beats are uneven, and the water flow from the outlet should be continuous with a pump of this type. When I squeeze the end of the pipe, as you can see, there's plenty of pressure. I don't think this is going to have any difficulty filling a boiler. But the water flow is still intermittent. It's working like a single cylinder pump. And even though I've changed the timing of the engine by moving the positions of the lock nuts, I can both hear and see that the cylinder furthest away from the camera is not right. It's pumping a little water, but not much of it. I can tell by the sound of it that both of the water valves for this cylinder that's furthest away from the camera are stuck. The time has come to run the pump at a high speed. I've pulled the water pipes out of the water and here we go. If any part of the pump breaks or drops off, it's better that this happens in my workshop. The pump seems to run well. There is, however, a slight problem. It is only pumping water using one cylinder. To fix this, I had to dismantle the water chest, and of the 8 water valves, 2 inlet valves were sticking in the holes. I removed them and remachined them. I did not video this section because it is a really good way to destroy the valves, as the machining operation is quite delicate and not recommended for beginners. The following video shows how it should have been working in the first place before I received the pump to repair. The difference is obvious. The water outlet is more or less a continuous flow. Please excuse me, I need to visit the toilet. These small duplex pumps do move a considerable amount of water. You should now also notice that the engine sounds different. The beats are much more even and it sounds a bit like a locomotive. And now it's top tip time. This is a really simple tip, not always obvious. I want to amplify the exhaust beats. Any piece of tubing will do. This is a box spanner. Listen to the difference. I turned down the air pressure from the compressor until nothing was showing on the dial. The beats are not quite as even, but the pump is still pumping. This clip shows the final setting of the nuts on the valve rods that go through the operating arms. This is the best I could get it, and I think it's more than adequate. To finish, just a quick recap. This is what I started with. Stay safe, stay healthy, thanks for watching, and I hope you found it useful. Please take the time to visit my Mainsteam Models website and click on the section of the website that says Video Playlists. And by doing that, you can find other videos that you may like to watch. And by using the playlists, you can actually watch the videos back to back.